Hello and welcome to episode 47 of Game Patrol. I'm your host Landon Pumley, and it's good to be back, people. Hi, how you doing? It's me, ya boy, back at it again with the white vans. Only some people will get that reference, but thank you guys for tuning in. It is great to be back. I am finally starting to settle into normal life. I think if I remember correctly, I came back for one episode because, like I said, I was busy with moving and all that sort of stuff. Finally get settled in, record one episode, and then for those that weren't aware, my sister passed away in a car accident, so that left basically my summer in ruins. My family's 2 hours away, so I spent a lot of time with them, all of my free time essentially, and so that kind of kept me away from content creation for a while, and I've been slowly but surely kind of easing myself back into it as we settle into the new normal because there were kids involved, and so kind of just my family had to adjust to a new normal, right? And so took a while, but we are back. We are getting into it, and I am so excited to finally be able to talk about video games for an hour. It's just me today. I literally haven't contacted anyone else about the podcast. Justin and I have been talking about it for a little bit, so I am hoping he will be on here soon. But I just wanted to take this week as a little fireside chat with you guys because, I just, one, I'm not going to lie, part of it was because I just kept forgetting to text people about it. But then also, like I said, I figured it would be nice to just have a little me and you time. Get to know each other a little bit. Maybe do a little ASMR. Anyway, but I've got a lot of cool stuff to talk about today. It is a bit of a slow week in terms of gaming news, but we're about to get into some really fun times going into September, right? And so let's get into the main topic of discussion for today, which is the August wrap-up and September outlook. Now, if you paid attention to video games in August, you realized that there probably weren't too many of them releasing. Both the best and most popular game of August was Psychonauts 2. So let's talk about that. I have played. I am very excited to share my thoughts for it. So I played the original Psychonauts really right before release, and so had a fun time with that. I'd never played before. I'd heard plenty of praise from it, but I never played myself, so I played Psychonauts, and now I jumped into Psychonauts 2, and yeah, it's fantastic. Everything that people say is true. It's a very, very fun time as both a mixture of taking nostalgia from the original 2005 game and then merging it with a lot of, modern advances that come with gaming today in terms of the platforming genre, right? And so there's a ton of new things. There's a ton of variety and just a lot of goofy fun that Double Fine's known for. And it is great to know that the 16-year wait was worth something, that we weren't just scorned all over again. So it is great to hear. So congratulations to Double Fine on the release of Psychonauts 2. A lot of people really love it, and so it's always great to hear, It's always a good news to find out that, a game that I'm sure these people are very, very passionate about and have worked on for a very long time. People enjoy it, people like it. It means something because, it's always so heartbreaking when you work so hard on something and then it just doesn't perform like how you expected it to. So, happy to hear that Psychonauts 2 is doing well. It deserves it. Go play it if you haven't already. It's on Game Pass. So if you can get your hands on it, by all means, do it because it is a fun game. It is a great game. But with that being said, let's get into the big September games because there are plenty of games coming out in September that I'm actually pretty excited about. Whether or not I'll play every single one of these games remains to be seen because I am very, very broke right now. But I know for a fact I will be playing one of them because it is one of my most anticipated games of the year. And it's probably pretty easy to guess, but let's get into it. First off, on September 10th, we've got Life is Strange True Colors. So, I'm a huge fan of the Life is Strange franchise, but I'm... Okay. maybe huge fan is a bit of an overstatement because I've technically never even played. Back when it first came out, I knew somebody who was playing through it, and so I watched the first 4 out of 5 episodes, and that's it. That is all the Life is Strange experience I have. But I loved it so much, and I bought the games, and I never touched them. And so, but I was really excited about this True Colors showcase because I don't know, just the theme and just how I'm trying to think of how to say this. Like, I don't know, it just the reveal resonated with me. Not that I necessarily have too much in common with the main protagonist, but I guess I just really really love games that go straight for the gut punch when it comes to emotional depth, right? Like, tell me why. Which different developers, it's important to note that True Colors is not made by Don't Nod, aka the people who developed the original Life is Strange. This is from a different developer from Square Enix, right? Yeah. And so it is a little different, but I love Don't Nod. Like, Tell Me Why was one of my favorite games of last year. I had a really great time playing through that just because of the narrative strength it had in itself. I enjoyed that a lot. And so I'm very excited for True Colors just because of the emotional punch that it looks like it's going to give. And I just love to suffer, right? But it looks like a beautiful game in terms of both graphics and story, and I'm very excited about that. So that comes out September 10th. Then on September 14th, one of my most anticipated games of the year, Deathloop, is finally launching on PS5 and PC. I'm so excited for this game. I'm always on the lookout for next-gen exclusive games, not because they're going to be inherently better than games that are cross-platform, but because they don't have the handicap of having to run on 2013 hardware. It gives the developers a lot more ambition. Now, whether or not they use that ambition, depends on them. But it does allow them to get more ambitious with the project, right? And so I'm really excited for Deathloop. I think there's a ton of cool things that happen. I am a huge Arcane fan. I loved the first Dishonored. Dishonored 2, I enjoyed, but not as much as everybody else. I really think I need to give it a second chance because, I don't know, I think it's because I love Dishonored. Like, Dishonored's one of my favorite games of all time. I think it was just impossible for the sequel to live up to the standards I had set for it. So I think I should give it a second chance. And same with Prey. It just didn't really click for me when I first played it, but I've been meaning to give it a second chance as well. But I do love Arcane Studios, and even though I wasn't 100% on board with everything that they've put out, I'm still very excited for any project I hear from them. And this looks like a cool mix of Dishonored, what am I thinking of? Dishonored, James Bond, and some, like, insert a little bit of Hades roguelikeness in there. And it looks wonderful. I'm super excited for it. And I will definitely be playing it right at launch because, yeah, I'm very excited about this game. So that is what's coming out on September 14th. Fast forward a little bit onto September 21st, and Kena Bridge of Spirits finally comes out, which I'm also really excited for because it literally looks like a playable Pixar movie, and that has me very excited. I don't even know really anything about the game. It just looks so freaking gorgeous, and the little bit of gameplay that they've teased, at least that I've seen, looks really, really fun and right up my alley, and so I'm just very excited to get my hands on this game. Fingers crossed it doesn't get delayed again, but very, very excited for this one. It looks beautiful. Yeah, just, what more can I say about it? And then 2 days later, kind of a controversial game on the 23rd, it's Diablo 2 Resurrected, a game that I was originally very excited about, but now I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place about it because of the ongoing allegations with Blizzard and Activision. And so this has been a long-running thing, but for those who don't know, essentially, and I will actually be bringing this up a little bit later because there is some gaming news related to that, but for those who don't know, a bunch of high-level Activision Blizzard executives have been accused of sexism, misogyny, some even, like, going to like sexual harassment and abuse and all of this other stuff towards women in the industry, and it's just really, really messed up stuff. You can look it up for more information. I'm not going to get into the details, but a lot of executives have been canned because of it. California is suing the company for malpractice and all sorts of different stuff. It is a huge ongoing development thing, and there has been some developments with the issue, but it hasn't been completely solved yet, and we're not really sure how to, what to expect from this company, right? But they are still releasing games, and it's, you can't really expect them not to. But Diablo 2 Resurrected's coming out. It's kind of your own moral compass whether or not you decide to purchase it. Personally, I don't necessarily want to be feeding this company money right now, but I also know there are plenty of hardworking devs who worked on Diablo 2 Resurrected that aren't like involved in this in any way, and there's no reason to make them suffer. But at the same time, like, very little of the money that is made from this game will probably go to them. You've got a lot of these executives, many of whom are part of the problem, that are getting this money. So it's kind of a difficult issue, but I'm going to leave that up to you guys. This is up to you whether or not you want to play. But as for me, I don't know. Me being broke kind of helps the situation, because then I'd probably be like, well, I won't play it because I don't have money. And so we'll see. But it comes out on the 23rd. I'm taking a quick water break. That's the only thing that sucks about doing a podcast by yourself, is mouth gets very dry because you're talking for an hour straight. But moving on, a day after that, September 24th, Death Stranding Director's Cut launches on PS5. Death Stranding has been a game that I've been meaning to beat over and over again, but I just can't do it. Maybe with the Director's Cut, I'll finally, get through it all, but it's just, I can't do it. It looks amazing. The gameplay isn't even really that bad to me. I don't know what it is. It's just like, it almost feels like it's missing something, like missing that one little hook that will keep me playing, and it doesn't have that. And I don't know, maybe the Director's Cut will add that. I doubt it, but maybe, I don't know. But it's launching. It's gonna be cool, probably. I don't know, if you're a Kojima fan, good for you, all that stuff. It's one of the many Director's Cuts that's coming out right now on PS5. Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut came out recently, and that became a big old thing because people were all like, oh, it's downgrading, graphical bullshit, whatever. But, if you want to play more Death Stranding, here you go. And on the same day, the sequel to the hit Yakuza spinoff, Lost Judgment, comes out. I'm obsessed with Judgment. I can't say anything. It's going to be appearing in a future video of mine on my main YouTube channel, Panda Master. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do that. But I really love Judgment, and some of my videos will make that very clear. So I'm very excited to be playing the sequel. Comes out in just here in a few weeks. So if you weren't a big fan of Like a Dragon's like turn-based Switch, I guess, and are looking for the more core Yakuza experience, basically Judgment is going to be that. It's not quite the same because it does act as more detective-esque than like gang-related action, but if you're looking for more that style of gameplay, this is kind of It's kind of forging its own path to do that, while the main Yakuza franchise goes off in a new direction. And me personally, I love both, but it's nice to have the options there. But brand new game coming out in a few weeks. That's exciting. And then finally, at the end of the month, if it doesn't get delayed again, September 28th, New World is finally launching. Amazon's first game, because every single one of them always gets canned. And this one kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed. I had access to the beta a little while ago, but I never ended up playing it because I kind of realized I didn't care. Not sure if I'm going to be checking this one out or not. Like, it looks nice. I've seen some gameplay of it, and it looks nice, but I've never really been one for MMOs anyway. Not necessarily because I don't like them, just because I've never really gotten into one. And so I'd say the closest I've got was Final Fantasy 14 online, but even that I fell off just because they're time sync games and I don't have time for that in my life, and so especially nowadays. And so, you know, big if I'm to check this one out, but it is exciting because it's Amazon's first real foray into the gaming industry. You know, they own Twitch, and so that's a big thing, and so it's only natural that they have their own game studios and that sort of thing. But you know, it's taken forever, but here we are. They finally have a game. We'll see if it releases or if it's all one big joke. I don't know. We'll see. But that is pretty much most of the major September games coming out this month. That was kind of dumb to say because I said September. Anyway, whatever. It's fine. This is my first week back. Give me a little time to shake off the dust, all that sort of business. But that pretty much wraps things up. Like I said, it is a bit of a slow week. I'm not done with the podcast yet, don't worry. But in terms of our August wrap-up and September outlook, those are the things to look forward to. Again, huge congrats to Double Fine for Psychonauts 2, and I'm super excited for all these games, especially Deathloop. I will for sure be playing that, and I'm sure I'll talk about it here on the podcast. It's going to be a fun time. But let's move into the gaming news for the week. Again, not a whole lot, but still some really cool stuff, like Marvel's Midnight Suns gameplay was revealed just yesterday. It was super, super cool. I woke up and I do what I always do when I look through my notifications, and I have Twitter notifications on for a lot of different, like, news-oriented sites surrounding gaming, so I try not to miss anything. And I saw about the gameplay reveal, because I kind of forgot about it, because I have the memory of a walrus, and so assuming walruses have bad memory. We'll say a brain-dead walrus. But, yeah, no offense to walruses. I didn't mean to do offense there. But, it looks really dope. I'm really excited. For those that don't know, Midnight Suns is Firaxis' new Marvel game, a.k.a. the developers of the XCOM and Civilization series. It's an interesting choice for a Marvel game, and when this was actually leaked a little while ago, not to much extent, we just knew that Firaxis was working on a Marvel game. And it was kind of referred to as the Marvel XCOM game, which I don't like that. Like, I think it's very, very different from XCOM. But anyway, I wasn't super excited about this for first. I think tactics games are really good, but I'm just really bad at them. So it's never really, like, I always get nervous when I'm like, oh, it's a tactics game, because I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is going to be a struggle for me. But it's probably really good, and I'm really excited about that. But when it was this gameplay, I'm super excited. So I am a huge superhero fanboy. If you guys haven't figured that out yet, I watch all the Marvel movies, all the DC movies, all that stuff. I play all the games. I've made it a point to platinum every superhero game on the PS5. And so I'm working on it right now. I've platinumed Miles Morales and Spider-Man Remastered, and I'm working on the platinum for Avengers, but anybody who has taken that journey knows it is a pain in the butt. And so I'm, currently making very, very slow progress on that, because the end game of Marvel's Avengers is absolute doggy doo-doo, and it sucks. But I still play it like almost every single day because I'm just that addicted to the game, and now I know what it feels like to be a Diablo player. And so, I'm going to hopefully platinum that, and then I'll platinum Guardians of the Galaxy when it comes out. Really excited for it, but I'm not going to lie, I'm a little worried about the quality of the game. I don't know, it's just been giving me bad vibes. But, again, I'm super into superhero games. And then now this comes out in March. I will try and do the same thing, as well as Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad versus Justice League as well. Like, I'm super into superhero games in general. Get it? And I'm very excited about this game. So it's very different, for those that didn't watch, than, say, like the regular XCOM games, right? I would say XCOM was the foundation for this game, but it is very, very different. For one, it is very story-oriented. Not that the XCOM games didn't have story, but I feel like this one definitely has more story than either of the XCOM games that Firaxis has developed lately. And then it's also card-based. So it's not technically like a card game. I would say, if anything, it's a tactics game with card integration, maybe. But it seems like combat works like you are basically dealt cards, and that will give you access to certain abilities, that sort of thing. I'm not 100% sure how it works just quite yet, but you're able to create your own character. You play as the hunter, who is a character created for the game, and basically you are the son or daughter of the main villain, Lilith, who has basically been raised from the dead centuries after her demise by your hands, essentially, to wreak havoc on the world. And so the Midnight Suns, aka the kind of dark, mystical Marvel team from the comics, that we haven't really seen them in a lot of media outside of the comics, but now we're getting a whole game on them. And so they raise you to help defeat them. And so you get to play as both your own customizable character as well as a ton of different Marvel characters, including, and I could probably name off all of them that they've announced if I really think about it. Iron Man, Cap, Blade, Captain Marvel, Wolverine, Magic, the one chick, is her name Power Girl, the one from the Runaways, Ghost Rider, and I think there's one more. Oh, Doctor Strange. Okay, I think I might have actually got all of them, and that would be super dope if I did. But anyway, yeah. Like I said, I really, really love superhero stuff, and so I pay very close attention to all of this. But the graphics look really, really nice. Like I said, it's supposed to come out in March of 2021, or 2022, sorry. And yeah, the gameplay looks super dope. You can look it up if you want to learn more information, but it's basically you trying to stop this ancient deity called Lilith. And so you as the hunter team up with the Midnight Suns, the Marvel group, and have a lot of fun. You can also, a lot of it has to do with forging bonds with the team. And so at your sort of hub, which is called the Abbey, which is basically where you were raised, you're basically hanging out at your grave. Like you hang out right by your casket, which is a little weird. But, that's kind of like the hub of the area, and so you can bond with the other Midnight Suns. So it's really cool to like basically become best buds with Iron Man and Doctor Strange and all of that. They confirmed there would be no romancing, so unfortunately you can't have sex with Captain America in this game. Don't know what they were thinking, but oh well. But yeah, I'm very excited. I just love playing and listening and hearing and seeing all these like different Marvel and superhero stories through an interactive medium, right? Because obviously I love video games. I have a podcast about it and all sorts of different content creation platforms surrounding it. But, I also love superheroes. And so it's the combination of two of my favorite things. So, yeah, I'm very excited for Midnight Suns. I'm probably rambled about it for way too long, but that's okay. But that was one of the things that happened. And now another water break for myself. I also have to drink more water because my throat has been killing me lately. I hope I haven't come down with anything. If anything, I think it's a cold. But, yeah, it's been... But, secondly, let's talk about September 2021's PlayStation Plus lineup. I will not be talking about the Xbox lineup because, frankly, it sucks. But I'm not going to lie, this is probably the most disappointing month since the PS5 launched. Not that it's bad, but just for me personally, because it includes a game that I already have in terms of just PS5. So for the PS4 games, you're getting Hitman 2 and Predator Hunting Grounds. A lot of people kind of guessed this was going to happen, but yeah, Predator kind of flopped, and so they've been trying to do well with it, and it's a good move to put it on PS Plus. I'm trying to remember if it was on PS Now at all. I don't think it was, but it's a good move for that. Get some more people in there, because I do think it has a solid enough foundation. They just need to add more content around it, and just get more of a player base, because the servers were just god awful. And so I I think they did have a solid foundation there for a game, because I played a bunch of it, and it got to the point where it was taking me 30 minutes to get into a match, and I was like, this is stupid. And so, but anyway, those are your free games for PS4, and in terms of PS5, you get Overcooked All You Can Eat. Now, not gonna lie, this is a really great get. Like I said, for me personally, I already have it. I literally have the disc right over there on my shelf, and so I love Overcooked. If you don't know, All You Can Eat is a package of the first two and all of the DLC, so it's basically, you know, it's everything that Overcooked has to offer right now before we get a third one, if we do or don't. Who knows. But yeah, Overcooked All You Can Eat, you get it free with PS5. I personally, like I said, like I'm bummed because it's like, oh, I'm not getting anything this month that I'm really interested in, because I really only use PS Plus for the PS5 games. I don't care too much for the PS4 games. Not that they're bad or anything. It's just, you know, I'm a look forward type of guy. And so, but I am happy that more people get to experience Overcooked. I think it's a really, really fun game, and I cannot stress enough that if you have a PS5 and you haven't played Overcooked yet, please, please do. Like, take advantage of this. They arrive on September 7th, so, yeah, get to it, guys. It's really, really fun. But for me personally, it's the weakest because it's the first time in 11 months that they've had PS Plus with the PS5 that I have not gotten a free game out of it. That, you know, and don't get me wrong, there's been a couple months where it's some game that I have never heard of in my life, but, you know, at least it's something I've never played. And how many times do I ever play those games? Like, never. But it's okay, because I have them, so one day I might do it. Now, not gonna lie, there's a couple of them, like whatever last month's was, I'd say there's a fat chance I ever play it. But it's in my library, you know, if I ever change my mind, who knows? But, but yeah. Anyway, next up, we got the DC Fandom lineup. And so, this is all over the place. There's a lot of non-gaming related news, so we're just going to stick to the gaming related news. So if you are just a fan and would like to know more about DC Fandom, look it up, because there's a lot more stuff that they announced that I'm not going to be talking about right now. But in terms of specific gaming stuff, so October 16th is when it will return. So this is the second annual virtual event that showcases all the new projects in the works at DC, and, you know, games are some of those. So they announced that Warner Brothers games will showcase new reveals for Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. So I'm very excited because Gotham Knights was one of my most anticipated games of this year, and then it got delayed. But yeah, I'm so excited for Gotham Knights. Suicide Squad, yes and no. I wasn't like super crazy about the trailer just because it's such an... I think we have such a lack of superhero games right now. It is getting better and better year by year, but like, you know, we don't have like a Justice League game, right? Or like you know, it's just basically been Batman and Spider-Man the majority of the bigger AAA superhero experiences, right? And now we're starting to get there, but it's like a Suicide Squad game would not be the game I think would be made right now. You know what I mean? However, as I mentioned earlier, I'm obsessed. Well, actually, I didn't mention it earlier. I think I mentioned it in a video I made earlier today that's different. But anyway, I'm obsessed with the new Suicide Squad movie by James Gunn. Shout out to that. Also, it leaves HBO Max on September 5th. So be sure to get your fill of it before it leaves, because it is a phenomenal movie. And I'm very sad to see it go. But, yeah, after watching that movie, I'm definitely like more excited for this. So I'm hoping they can kind of capitalize off of the success of the movie with this new reveal and maybe do some stuff there. I tweeted out after I watched the movie that is going to make me a King Shark main for this game, because, you know, you can play as what? King Shark, Captain Boomerang, Harley Quinn, or Deadshot, if I remember correctly. And I was like, yeah, this has made me a King Shark main. But I am still excited for it. Again, you know me, that's superhero games, right? But I'm definitely more interested in Gotham Knights, because boy oh boy, that game looks fantastic. And just like I think the co-op capabilities are really cool in that as well. I really want to just like load up this game with my best friend and just us go chill and fight crime together. And also in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, but that seems to be taking more of like a like a live serve. Not that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is a live service game, but it seems like it's like similar to that, where it's like you go on missions and co-op missions and that sort of things, where it seems like Gotham Knights' co-op is still it's very much like sort of like Dying Light's co-op, where it's drop in, drop out, and you still do the story, whereas Kill the Justice League seems more servicey type of, I don't know, I could be very wrong, but ultimately, and that's weird too, because literally Rocksteady is kind of like these two companies, right? You have what is it Warner Brothers Montreal, right, that's making Gotham Knights, and which is the developer of Arkham Origins, whoever they are. I think it's Montreal, WB Montreal. And then you've got Rocksteady, which is making Kill the Justice League. And normally, you would think people would be way more excited about a Rocksteady game, but man, if Gotham Knights doesn't look great. But that's the DC fandom lineup. In terms of games, if you're looking for all the new movie and TV reveals, go look it up, that sort of thing. I won't talk about it here, but fun times. Water break number 3. Delicious. All right, next up. Overwatch has announced that it will change McCree's name, who was named after a former Blizzard developer. So, as I mentioned earlier, Activision Blizzard is going through a lot of turmoil right now, right? Because, of all the different allegations and things that have been shown, the Cosby Suite, just a lot of just really, to be frank, fucked up stuff going on. And so the Overwatch team, basically for maybe about a month now, well, really ever since this started going on, people have been talking about changing McCree's name, because one of the people in the famed Cosby Suite is Jesse McCree, one of the lead developers over at Activision Blizzard, who they named the hero McCree after in Overwatch. And so people have been calling to change his name because he has been proven to be a dick. And so this was kind of going around for a while. They never said anything. And then finally Overwatch released a statement. And I'll read the entire thing here. So this is from the Overwatch team. We built the Overwatch universe around the idea that inclusivity, equality, and hope are the building blocks of a better future. They are central to the game and to the Overwatch team. As we continue to discuss how we best live up to our values and to demonstrate our commitment to creating a game world that reflects them, we believe it's necessary to change the name of the hero currently known as McCree to something that better represents what Overwatch stands for. We realize that any change to such a well-loved and central hero in the game's fiction will take time to roll out correctly, and we'll share updates as this work progresses. In the near term, we had planned to kick off a narrative arc in September, supported with new story and game content, of which McCree was a key part. Since we want to integrate this change into that story arc, we will be delaying the new arc until later this year and instead launch a new FFA map this September. Going forward, in-game characters will no longer be named after real employees, and we will be more thoughtful and discerning about adding real-world references in future Overwatch content. This will help reinforce that we're building a fictional universe that is unmistakably different from the real world and better illustrates that the creation of Overwatch is truly a team effort. Work on these updates is underway, and they are just a part of our ongoing commitment to honest reflection and making whatever changes are necessary to build a future worth fighting for. We know that actions speak louder than words, and we hope to show you our commitment to making Overwatch a better experience in-game and continue to make our team the best it can be. So, I, for one, am a huge fan of Overwatch. I don't play regularly anymore, but I literally reinstalled it the day that they did this because I was like, let's go, I'm actually happy. But from what I know, I used to regularly play Overwatch, and now it's just, again, adulting, life, that sort of stuff. But I would say that Overwatch is one of my most played games ever, and I've always been obsessed with it, and I still really, really love it. But just the team seemed to be very, very good at what they did and good people, right? And so I was talking to a friend literally just a couple of days before this happened about, the cry for people to change McCree's name. And I was talking about how I have a lot of respect for the Overwatch team because they seem to be very nice, genuine people. And with all this controversy, that sort of stuff, it seemed like members of the Overwatch team were making an effort to stay away from that, not be a part of it, and just, do the best that they can for their community and for their game. And so, I every time, like with all of the Blizzard last year, with the controversy with Hong Kong and Blizzard, right? All that stuff. There was a boycott and all these things with Overwatch and all this stuff. And I was like, man, this sucks because I love Overwatch so much. And, the team, again, it is such a gray area because they can say this stuff, actions do speak louder than words, but are these actions genuine or are they just to win back people's favor? Who knows? And that's why it's always been kind of an iffy situation for me personally to try and navigate, because I don't know whether it's a good idea for me to do that or not. I don't know. But I really, really do love Overwatch, and so I'm hoping this is genuine. I'm hoping that the team is full of actual good people. I don't know. But it is good to hear that they're doing this, because Jesse McCree is not an individual I would like to play as. So, all that fun stuff. And finally, a little fun announcement here. Let's get away from the doom and gloom. Dying Light Platinum Edition has officially been announced for Nintendo Switch. I don't know how they're going to do it, because Dying Light is a beefcake of a game. It's literally one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen, and it came out 6 years ago. So that's why I'm like, okay, they could possibly do it, but still, it's a beefcake. So props to them. They didn't announce a release date, which makes me think that this is going to be a challenge for them, since they said it was coming but didn't give us any indication as to when. So we'll see. But if they can pull it off, I would love to play Dying Light on my Switch. It also is going to have local co-op, which is even more nuts. I don't know how that's going to work. But yeah. Frick yeah, dude. Dying Light on Switch. Let's go. No word on if the sequel's coming to Switch, but I imagine that's going to be a while down the line, because they're probably working their best to get this one on there. So, but yeah, more great Switch news. Now, that's all the news for this week. Let's get into all the games coming this week, because there is quite a lot of them. So, first off, out today, WRC 10 for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Hailed by reviewers and professional drivers, the standard setting off-road racing simulation has been reinvented. Reach the 2021 season podium, and to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the competition, relive the highlights at the wheel of legendary cars. So, I actually have WRC 9. It is, again, sitting on my shelf right there. I had to find it for a second. Even though I have them alphabetized, I still was stupid and was like, oh, where's W at? But, yeah, so I have the previous entry. It's really, really, really good. Like, it's definitely not Forza, for sure. Like, it is a difficult game. Like, it gets into the nitty-gritty of racing. So, it's like the Microsoft Flight Simulator of rally racing. But it's really, really good. And for those of you who really like racing games, I enjoy this one a lot. And so, yeah, the new one's coming out. So, play it. And also today, Kitaria Fables comes out on PS5, Xbox Series S and X, PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Action-adventure fused with RPG and farming elements, armed with sword, bow, and spellbook, fight against a rising darkness threatening the world, plunder dungeons in search of relics and resources, tend to your farm to make provisions and potions, and take on quests solo or with a friend. So I was looking at screenshots about this game, some different gameplay, that sort of stuff, and this seems like a nice little, Kitty's first RPG, right? It seems more family friendly oriented, that sort of thing. So like if you have a younger child, like not super young, right? But if you have like maybe a tween that really wants to get into some RPGs, maybe send them this way. Or maybe even young. Like you can go younger, but like if you're really trying to insert someone into the RPG world and you want something a little more casual speaking, this seems like that type of game. So that is out today. Then tomorrow, The Medium is finally coming to PS5. Discover a dark mystery only a medium can solve. Explore the real world and the spirit world at the same time. Use your psychic abilities to solve puzzles spanning both worlds, uncover deeply disturbing secrets, and survive encounters with the Maw, a monster born from an unspeakable tragedy. So, I've played this game start to finish. I actually really, really enjoyed it. I know not everybody did, but I had a lot of fun playing the Medium, and now it's coming to PS5, so that's super exciting. So for my PlayStation users, Please don't care about all the console war nonsense, and just, if you're a horror fan, play this game because it's really fun and it makes use of a lot of cool technology. But yeah, I had a really great time with it, and I think you will as well. Then also tomorrow, Golf Club Wasteland comes out on PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Human life is wiped out. Earth is now a golf course for the ultra rich. That is the description. I was looking at it a lot. It looks really interesting, and it is exactly what it says it is. It's just you play golf on a destroyed Earth, and it's really interesting. I'm interested to see how much story is weaved into it, because it seems like it would have a really interesting backstory to it about what caused the Earth to end. It sounds like the ultra rich are the people still remaining, right? So they've gone off, that sort of stuff. And so I like this a lot. I think it's interesting, a very interesting premise. It's an interesting game pitch, but that comes out tomorrow. Bunch of different platforms. Check it out if it piques your interest. And now I'm taking another water break. Delicioso. Also tomorrow, Family Trainer is coming to Nintendo Switch. Family Trainer will let players work out in a variety of easy-to-do, engaging, and fun activities. The game will combine the Nintendo Joy-Con controllers and leg strap in order to let players use their whole body in a series of heart-pumping mini-games. So, if you didn't have enough fitness games on your Switch, here's another one. Enjoy. That's all I have to say. Also tomorrow, we've got Big Rumble Boxing Creed Champions for PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Do you have what it takes to be a champion? Train, fight, and win like Adonis Creed, Rocky Balboa, and more boxing legends in this knockout boxing game. Now, it has been it's been 13 years, I want to say, since the last Punch-Out. I think they came out with one in 2008, if I remember correctly. So there's been a real lack of a strong boxing game, and a lot of different companies have tried to fulfill that void, right? Maybe this will be the one. I don't know. But if you really like the Creed and Rocky movies and you love boxing games, here you go. This one's for you. And then going into Tuesday, we've got Bus Simulator 21 for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Experience the daily life of a bus driver in 2 open-world cities, either in the USA or Europe. Drive up to 30 licensed buses by international manufacturers, including a double-decker and e-buses. Take your passengers to their destinations safely and on time, either in single or multiplayer mode. So, we're still suffering through a pandemic. Life's getting pretty crazy again. What better to sort of make you feel like the world is slightly normal, like controlling a very crowded bus that we don't get to have anymore. So, yeah, it's really exciting, all that sort of stuff. Bus Simulator 2021, Game of the Year, and it comes out on Tuesday. Then also on Tuesday, Fist, Forged in Shadow Torch for PS5 and PS4. After the animals of Torch City were defeated by the invading robotic legion in the Resistance War 6 years ago, former Resistance fighter Rayton the Rabbit has kept a low profile. The arrest of a friend meant he had no choice but to put on his giant metal fist and fight against those oppressing him. Little did he know that he would soon be caught up in a maelstrom of conspiracies involving the Legion, the Resistance, and the Rat Gang. So, this seems like a mix of the Oddworld games and the Ratchet and Clank games, but if you're looking for a fun little action platformer, this seems like one for you, but it comes out on Tuesday. It will also be coming out to PC on a later date, so if you don't own a PlayStation console, then, I'll have to wait a little bit longer, but you will have access to it as well if you have a PC. Then on Tuesday as well, we've got Sonic Colors Ultimate for PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Join Sonic in the high-speed adventure of a lifetime. The evil Dr. Eggman has built a gigantic interstellar amusement park bursting with incredible rides and colorful attractions, but he's powering it with a captured alien race called Wisps. Use Sonic's lightning speed to free the Wisps and learn the secrets of their amazing powers as you explore 6 unique, colorful worlds, each filled with dangerous enemies and hurdles to overcome. Now, with stunning upscaled visuals, additional features, a new game mode, and enhanced gameplay, it's the ultimate Sonic Colors experience. Hence why they called it Sonic Colors Ultimate. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the only Sonic game I've ever played is Sonic Mania. Um, I'm trying to think if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I thought Sonic games looked really cool, but I never really played them. And so that's a bit of a gap in my gamer portfolio, but maybe I'll check this one out. Who knows? I don't know. But that is out on Tuesday. And that is all the games coming out this week. Like I said, they got a bunch of them. September is starting to really ramp up in terms of games releases, and it's good to hear because of, COVID and just the world and everything. It kind of makes it hard to release games nowadays. We had a very slow summer, but now we're getting into the fall, and hopefully we've got some fun stuff to look forward to. But before we get out of here, let's talk about what I've been doing in my off hours, right? I try to do this sort of segment here, and in terms of games, I started on Twitch streaming Minecraft Mondays, and I'm immediately going to break it because I realize next Monday is Labor Day, but I had a really good time playing it on stream, had a fun time with chat, and I'm actually going to be streaming more Minecraft again on Sunday. Doing a special little Sunday episode of Minecraft Mondays because, again, I forgot about Minecraft Monday, or I forgot about Labor Day, but that was really fun, and as I mentioned earlier, I've been grinding Marvel's Avengers. It has been a love-hate experience, but mostly hate, and I just know it'll be very satisfying once I finally do get that Platinum trophy, and I will rub it in everyone's faces, and probably, well, I want to say never touch the game again, but I know I will, because I'm hooked, and yeah, pain. But outside of video games, I've been watching a ton of MCU because I've made it a point to watch, to like catch up rewatching the MCU before I see Shang-Chi. But it's getting down to the wire here because I am currently on WandaVision, so I'm almost there, right? But I have to watch, I watched the first episode of WandaVision right before I did this. So I still have the rest of the season, and then all of the Falcon and Winter Soldier, all of Loki, and Black Widow to watch. And I'm seeing Shang-Chi tomorrow at 7. So, yeah, we'll see. But I've been watching a ton of MCU lately. This has been going on for like a couple months now. I've been watching them, but now I've been watching them more frequently because I'm like, oh god, I don't have much time. But, yeah. That's been a lot of my thing. I've also been reading some comics lately. I've been trying to get more into comics because there's some really, really good runs out there right now. Like the one I'm reading now, which is, I believe, classified as a miniseries. I think it only has 2 volumes. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. And that is John Constantine Hellblazer. So the run is really good. I'm almost finished with the first volume, but I've been having fun reading that. It's been a really compelling run, and, all fun times with that. But that has been my off hours, and that has been this podcast. Like I said, it's a bit of a slow week, so it's a little bit of a shorter episode, but I'm hoping that you guys don't mind. Like I said, I'm dusting off the cobwebs, all that sort of stuff. Like I said, I'd like to have a guest here with me next week to be able to bounce some stuff back and forth, but we'll see. But let me know. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'm happy to be back, excited to be doing this again because I missed it. I missed talking about games for an hour a week. Just nothing but. And, just having a really fun time with you guys. And so hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next week. Bye, peoples.